Okay, let's go right into it.
Let's go. So we have Turbo in the top left. As the orange Seraphim. Blackheart in the bottom right as the yellow UEF. I guess I did that a bit early. But this matchup is quite interesting. UEF versus Seraphim. Who do you favor here?
Yeah, so on Crazy Rush, there's two factions that are generally seen as a lot stronger than the other ones because the way the map works. Um, it's both Sarah and UEF, and UEF is so strong because of the Januses they can make, because of how strong they are on the map. It's so easy to Janus entire max kits and do a lot of damage. Because of that, usually UEF is vetoed. In this particular case, not. So we haven't actually seen UEF not get vetoed on Crazy Rush in the tournament for quite a bit, I think. Then, because UEF always gets vetoed, Seraphim is the obvious second choice. Phobos are so strong on this map. Then you have the best shields, the best arties. Sniper bots can also be super strong here. Then you have for late game, Awasas are insanely strong if you can get to build one.
Yeah.
They will do the exact same as Janus, except a little bit more overkill.
This is interesting. Blackheart opened with one max first. Turbo doing the more normal thing. Both of them are sending scouts out early, I guess to spot for first bomber. Because
well, Blackheart is just doing a normal BO. Max first is the common. What Turbo does is, I didn't exactly notice, but I think he went for. Did he go for the 2P gen before factory?
he went for 2P gen factory.
Okay, so Turbo went for this super greedy BO. So we will see whether he gets punished by it or not. But so far, yeah, there's an air factory planned for Blackheart very soon. So
Yeah, this
there
is
will
a
be a
super
quick
early
bomber
air
out.
factory, actually.
Yeah,
So he's
reminds
rushing
me
a
a
bomber.
bit of the Paralon style.
Yep. Blackheart going for the stinky cheese. We'll see if Turbo is ready for it. So far, it looks like Turbo won't be. Turbo is building, doing the normal thing where you stack up all your engineers and build your first like 20 or so P-gens before you build 3 or 4 factories immediately. But he scouts the air factory with his Celine, so that's really good. He knows it's coming.
Well, yeah, it's. I mean, he is. He will be prepared for it. Even if he didn't scout the air factory, he has a Saturn in position, so he should be instantly able to see the bomber and rush an AA in the middle of his engineers. So yeah, he will have the air counter, and he will perfectly know where the bomber is.
Apparently, you have to turn my volume up a little bit, according to Morax. You have to turn my volume up.
Okay, I will.
Alright, so we see the bomber heading out. Turbo already has a static anti-air. This static anti-air has actually hurt him quite a bit because he doesn't really have enough power. Now he's spreading all his engineers. The bomber is actually doing quite a lot of damage. It's forcing idle time. It's making Turbo spend energy on building the static anti-air. And it's just generally messing up Turbo's build. Look at his engineers. They're all over the place.
I mean, yeah, kinda, but it's, you still have to invest in the bomber for that. I don't think it did that much damage. You killed one engineer, and considering how quickly he rushed out the bomber, it's so far it was not worth it, I'd say.
Vision count is about the same, right?
Turbo is up on 60E, so he's 3 pigeons ahead. Also, this Salon of him is still being annoying on the right side. Blackheart is just gonna spam more bombers, which is what he should be doing. He did lost his scout though, so it will be a bit harder to spot for the engineer groups. There's 2 engineer groups. He can have a very nice bomb on the left side if he micros the bomber properly.
Yeah, that's really nice. He's getting in range to use the radar, and then once he has the radar signatures, he'll micro the bomber to drop the bomb.
Oh, he didn't get the bomb off. That's very bad.
The second bomber, there's another bomber coming. Turbo spotted it with his scout, but did he actually see it?
I mean, the engineers aren't as grouped up anymore. He will only lose 2. Or maybe 3, because the other one just walks into it. Okay, this one kills 3 engineers.
3, that's fine, but it's like 3 bombers for 3 engineers at this point. Blackheart is...
You should just do it anyway. You should just permanently rally bombers across the map to do as much damage to engineers as possible. The bombers are only meant to delay.
Yeah, Turbo has his own bomber. Blackheart has no static anti-air, and his engineers are quite clumped. And the Selines are spotting the engineers for the bombers. So this could be very brutal. Only one engineer on the first bomb.
Yeah, but
That's
Blackheart's scaling is a lot lower than Turbo's at the moment. Turbo is on way more engineers, and his big engineer group on the right side. A single bomb could kill 8 engineers, but it was never spotted nor targeted.
Yep. Oh, he sees it. The second bomber. If this bomber doesn't get it, the second one will.
But Turbo spots and touches with his engineers, so this one will only kill 2 at most again. Only 1 will fall. Meanwhile, on Blackheart's side...
Really nice dodging from Turbo.
Also, I didn't have time to say this, but a fancy little trick Blackheart did at the start to expand his early max kit, which is important on Crazy Rush. After building the max, he started building on the 2 maxes on the side for a very, very, very small amount of time, just so the grid could scale more at the start. It's just kind of funny to see
that he's building his mexes in a line, so that way every time he builds a new mex, it is revealing more buildable mex spots. Right? If you build like on the rightmost spot, for example, you'll reveal 3 mex spots, compared to if you kind of just build in a circle.
Yeah, it's the most efficient way by far to expand the max kit on Crazy Rush. But now there's quite a lot of units from Turbo next to Blackheart's base, both from the left and they're also coming from the top.
Yeah, it's looking quite bad because Turbo at this point has like double the amount of factories that Blackheart has. Blackheart has like what, 6? Turbo has like 10 already. It's he's gonna be behind on units for a long time.
Yeah, it is. Crazy Rush isn't a map where it's not possible to come back, simply because of the massive scaling, and you have quite a defender's advantage because you always have so much production. But very quickly it's gonna go very bad as well, and like the moment you start losing your engineers building factories and power, then it's starting to go sour really quickly.
Yeah.
So Blackheart is having to use his ACU
engineers
now.
building power. So using his ACU to defend. Yeah, this is also engineers are being lost at the front. This is not what you want to see at all if you're Blackheart or a Blackheart fan.
Exactly. Let's see if there's a Tech2 HQ planned from one of them already.
I think Blackheart kind of needs to rush the Tech2 HQ, right? If he gets a T2PD, he can stabilize.
Yeah, the way to kind of stabilize in these kind of situations are usually just a few Tech2PD spam, because people tend to... Crazy Rush is a map mostly for macro. It's a very special map. Micro can be important, but usually it's the big macro aspect that's important. And what these tanks are trying to accomplish most of all is not to straight up kill Blackheart, but just kill the build power so that the macroing is delayed. And Tech2 PDs are very good because people are way more careless with their units because micro is so much less important. So they often get an insane amount of value because you can't handle everything in a map like Crazy Rush. And
Blackheart is halfway to T2 land. Turbo, I don't see T2 land anywhere. So he might... Oh, he should actually get T2 land now.
Yeah, it's quite late for Turbo. I mean, they both had kind of rocky starts considering the aggression from Blackheart, but Turbo didn't take that much damage. It's also... yeah, you can see Turbo has a lot more factories, and right now he's up 500 E, but not having the...
Maybe Turbo's plan is just to overwhelm him with T1. Like, it's really strange that he's not going T2 land right now.
The thing is, overwhelming with T1 on Crazy Rush should kinda never happen. Simply because it's, like I said, there's quite a defender's advantage. And especially
but there's maybe he's far ahead enough, right?
No,
maybe the opening went good enough for him that he could do it.
Oh, he's not.
No.
No. Like sure, he's in a good position, but he's not far ahead enough to, if he wanted to kill Blackheart right now, that he would be able to. There's what's more important though is that excuse me, is that Turbo has twice the mass income as Blackheart. Blackheart stopped scaling his max kit, and the thing is, in situations like this, even if you can't spend your mass, you should still always expend your max kit, because you will catch up at some point, and if then you still don't have enough mass, then it will be very bad.
This is. I have a bug where at a particular zoom level, I don't see any mech spots for Blackheart. It's like bugged for me.
Nice. So yeah,
Fair
big
enough.
attack from Turbo right now on the left side. Blackheart is overcommitting way too many tanks on the right. He has like 40 there, while almost the entire Turbo army is on the left. Blackheart rushed a Tech to Pigeon, but before building
No
a single
Tech
Tech
to
to PD, and I think he was too slow with the transition, and is actually about to get overrun by Set T1 now.
He's gonna get overwhelmed by T1. There's a lot of Zuis here though. So
Yeah,
the tanks will get good trades, but the Zuis will be able to kill a lot of factories,
I mean
and
the
then the next
Zuis
wave
will
of
kill the
tanks will
Pigeon
win.
and the HQ.
Yeah. Oh, the HQ. It's 8,000 HP. I don't think the Zui have enough to take down the HQ right
No, he lost too many, but
here.
you can see he brought down, he had enough tanks, but they were on the wrong side of his base, so...
Yeah, but that was not a good fight for Turbo. He lost so many Zuis there, and Blackheart traded super well.
Yeah, but the way you use armies on Crazy Rush, it's not for efficient fights, it's to delay your opponent from macroing. And
Yeah.
and the late Tech to Pigeon is one thing, but more importantly, all the dead racks in Blackheart's base, he probably wished he wouldn't have them, because it 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 prevents him from building any buildings there. And
Oh yeah, you're right. The reclaim is actually hurting him.
I mean, maybe he probably needs the mess. No, he's starting E at the moment, but like I
Yeah,
said
he needs that
before,
50%.
he stopped scaling his max cut nicely, and he's now
Oh,
down 150 mass income.
Blackheart is so low on power. I just noticed. Like look at the number of T1 P-gens he has. It is
Yes.
abysmal. Okay, T2 P-gen is done, so that's quite good for him.
Turbo did rush a single TML that is actually in range of the Tech to Pigeon. So
Oh no. We'll see if Blackheart builds a TMD at any point. It's so easy to remember. I mean, to forget to build a TMD.
yeah, especially in a situation like this. I mean, at this point, the situation is probably already kind of hopeless.
Well, just do a T1 factory count, right? You know, Turbo probably has like 3 or 4 times as many, maybe 3 times.
Yeah, and the scaling from Blackheart never really went anywhere. So
Yeah.
it is quite
There's
a
no,
yeah.
there's just no win condition for Blackheart right here. He's behind on power, he's behind on mexes, behind on factories. You can't really look at anywhere and say that there's an advantage. Oh, here comes the TNL.
There comes the TML indeed. It goes straight for the
he has no
pigeon, and
TMD.
there's nothing
Oh
to stop
no,
it.
I mean, the game. Yeah, it's hard to see what Blackheart can do at this point.
I mean, he's dead.
Wow.
It's
Yeah, we're casters. We can't just be like, he's dead.
he's,
But-
he's what do you mean? He's 10 seconds away from control K.
Okay. He's very dead, yes.
So
I
yeah,
think
as you
Blackheart
can
is
see,
just
the
accepting
Tech
the
2
loss.
PDs, even if though they were getting overwhelmed, they got, there you go, 10 seconds exactly.
Oh my god.
Uh,
That's small.
yeah, so after the bad start, there is a chance to come back, but if Turbo plays better, then that chance of comeback is reduced by a very, very drastic amount.
But to be fair, if you're Blackheart, I don't think you're too distraught by this loss. You know, you went for some kind of a very aggressive, you know, tease basically. You build the second air factory on 6 T1 gens, and you just spam bombers at your opponent all day. And that was, you know, because that was shut down, the rest of the game sort of snowballed from that decision. So I think
Well,
you can
yeah,
go into
but
the next game
on Crazy
with an
Rush,
even mindset.
it is quite a common strategy for the bomber
Yeah.
spam.
Yeah. took a risk and it didn't work out.
Yeah, true. He did go for